Tiana and Anna are two Disney princesses that have the courage to make huge sacrifices. But which one would win in a Disney princess battle? Watch until the end to find out which character would be the last one standing. Tiana and Anna in the history of Disney princesses. It's interesting to put these two particular princesses head-to-head in a battle because they come from the same era of Disney movies. It's called the Disney Revival, and it was in fact Tiana's movie The Princess and the Frog that started it all in 2009. This film was considered a return to form for the studio. It also introduced a groundbreaking character in Tiana, and she was the first ever African-American Disney princess. Anna's movie Frozen came out in 2013 and also broke new ground. It centered on the love between sisters rather than between a princess and a prince. Both Anna and Tiana are typical of the princesses from this era. They continue the change in character that the princesses of the Disney Renaissance era introduced. That period, from around 1989 to 1999, was full of independent-minded princesses. We're talking Ariel, Belle, Pocahontas, Jasmine, and Mulan. These ladies aren't doing what they're told and letting the men lead the way. They're not waiting for a prince to save them. All the princesses from that era onwards showed a huge shift from the princesses of the Disney Golden Age. They were Snow White, Cinderella, and Sleeping Beauty, and they were all passive. You couldn't imagine those three doing battle, but you can imagine strong-willed Tiana and Anna being able to stand up for themselves. So the next question is, what would their key strengths be in a battle? Tiana's strengths. Being robust is a major quality any fighter needs, and Tiana certainly has that in bucket loads. We see how much stamina she has as soon as we're introduced to Tiana. She's working 2 jobs all day and all night to save up money to open her own restaurant.
The maitre d' is gonna be right where you're standing. Oh, and over here, a gourmet kitchen.
That takes resilience, hard work, and dedication. These are all essential skills when you're facing off against an opponent. She's also independent, doing it all herself and not relying on handouts from others. When Tiana turns into a frog after kissing Prince Naveen in amphibian form, we get an even better insight into how strong Tiana is. First of all, she survived as a whole different species. That takes adaptability and quick thinking. Take a look at how she handled those frog hunters, Reggie, Darnell, and Two Fingers. She was able to fight them physically, bending back their fingers with her feet and also tactically. The frog hunters even comment on how smart she is after she outwits them.
Ain't like no frogs I ever seen. They smart.
And Tiana even maintains her knife skills as a frog, minting mushrooms with ease. That's not a simple task by any means, and certainly not with webbed frog fingers. Knife skills would come in handy in a fight too. Plus, she could use her frog mucus to steal weapons from her opponents, just like she steals from the Fenner brothers. Tiana is shaping up to be a strong opponent, but what about Anna? She has a particular strength that could tip the scales in her favor. Anna's strengths. By the end of Frozen, Anna has gone on a serious journey of self-discovery, and she's shown a lot of strengths that would come in handy in a battle. One of her major skills is to learn quickly from her experiences. When Anna first set out to look for Elsa, she got hit by a load of snow pinging off a tree. She used this knowledge to her advantage when she was escaping from Marshmallow by catapulting snow off a tree at him. She also proved she wasn't afraid to take on an opponent much bigger than her when she fought back against the snow monster. Sure, a little snowball isn't actually going to do much damage, but at least she tried and proved how daring and fearless she can be under pressure. Anna also stood up for Olaf when Marshmallow threw the snowman down the North Mountain. She got so worked up that Kristoff actually referred to her as Feisty Pants. Anna can think quickly on her feet in an emergency too, like when the wolves were chasing her and Kristoff on the sled. She shows tactical thinking by hurling burning rugs at them. And then of course there's Anna's particular strength that could well give her the edge over Tiana. She shows the ultimate strength by being willing to sacrifice herself for Elsa. When Anna puts her hand up against Prince Hans's sword, she not only saves her sister, she saves herself. And that's thanks to her super strength, love.
I love you.
She's got a surprisingly strong punch too, as seen as she hits Hans off a ship. Speaking of Prince Hans though, Anna's relationship with him does expose one of her key weaknesses. Keep watching to discover what that is. First, let's explore Tiana's weaker points. Will they outweigh Anna's flaws? Tiana's weaknesses. Tiana's great strength in being so dedicated to her dream could also be seen as a weakness. There's dedication and then there's single-mindedness, without taking on board advice from others. She's so focused on hard work that she doesn't realize what her father was actually saying to her when she was a little kid. He encouraged hard work, making sure Tiana didn't think a wish on a star would make dreams come true on its own, but he also made sure to advise his daughter that success isn't everything.
But you'll never, ever lose sight of what's really important.
There's a difference between what you want and what you need, and love triumphs everything. Having a loving partner and family should be held in higher regard than career success. Tiana doesn't keep this in mind when she's spending every hour working for her restaurant dream. She does it at the expense of her own personal relationships. Tiana doesn't go out and have fun when her friends invite her to because she'd rather be saving up the dollars. That's very admirable, but you need to be able to take on board different opinions to be the best in a battle. Could Tiana do that? And that leads us to ask the same question about Anna. What are her key flaws when it comes to a princess battle? Anna's weaknesses. We love both Tiana and Anna, but if we consider Anna's attitude towards Prince Hans, it presents quite a big character flaw. It's not surprising that Anna is desperate for something exciting to happen, given that the palace gates have been shut for so long, but she behaves like a typical Disney Golden Age princess when she meets Prince Hans at Elsa's coronation ball. Anna is desperate to meet the one and escape her lonely life, but she only really equates happiness with waiting for a prince to save her, just like Snow White, Cinderella, and Aurora before her. Unfortunately, it gets worse for Anna. That's because Prince Hans isn't even genuinely interested in her, just her title. This shows another weakness in Anna's personality, and that's a tendency to trust too quickly. Sure, trusting people and seeing the best in them is great, but not when you don't realize when you're being duped. If Anna had any street smarts about her, she'd surely have smelled a rat when Hans proposed so quickly.
Can I say something crazy? Will you marry me?
He truly played her, which suggests an opponent in another battle, like Tiana, might well be able to trick Anna too. To be fair though, once Anna started gaining some life experience, she became more formidable. It seems like Tiana and Anna are pretty evenly matched at this point, but what if their battle involved their squads too? Tiana's squad. Like so many other Disney princesses before her, Tiana has animal sidekicks, but the difference is Tiana is an animal for much of the movie too. Her two main allies in the Bayou are Louie the alligator and Ray the firefly. The question is, how much help would they be to Tiana in a battle against Anna? First up, let's consider Louie. Thanks to his large size and ferocious appearance, Louie can scare people with one snap of his jaws. But deep down, Louie is a big softie. Although this gentle giant might be thought of as a coward, we see the intimidating effect he can have at the Mardi Gras parade. When Louie notices Ray is running from Dr. Facilier's shadow demons, he stops playing his beloved trumpet. He abandons his jazz dream to save his friends and proves just how fierce he can be. This is definitely one gator you'd want on your side in a battle. Ray is certainly brave and tries his best to help his friends in any conflict, like when he helps fight off the frog hunters when they attack Tiana and Naveen. He also fearlessly takes on Facilier's shadow demons all by himself with his magical light powers. And Ray is a tactical fighter too, able to steal the voodoo talisman and take it to Tiana.
I got it! You got me too!
However, his small size is his downfall, as Facilier easily crushes Ray. Anna's squad. Anna also has two non-human helpers in her squad, Sven the reindeer and Olaf the snowman. Well, Sven is described as more of a Labrador, and as his reindeer has all the attributes of that loyal dog breed. He can be a bit clumsy at times and easily distracted, but although he might tangle his antlers or get his tongue stuck on Elsa's staircase, he's still an ally you want on your side. Sven is strong and super fast. Not only does he run really quickly, but he's also brave enough to push on through Elsa's whiteout blizzard. As for Olaf, he's brave and loyal too, but the snowman is pretty ineffective. However, he's totally devoted to his friends, and he's willing to sacrifice himself to help Anna. As he says, some people are worth melting for. He also acts out of his belief that love is putting someone else's needs before yours. When it comes to which squad would be the most useful, we think it's pretty even. Tiana's previous opponents. Tiana faced many opponents in The Princess and the Frog, particularly when she was a frog, and she managed to outwit them all. She avoided getting eaten by a crane and a group of alligators. She avoided capture by the frog hunters. In all of these dangerous situations, she showed her heroism and capability. Of course, Dr. Facilier is her ultimate nemesis, and she managed to defeat him through her honor and her quick thinking. She didn't fall for his deal when he conjured up a vision of her fancy restaurant. Tiana refused to hand over the talisman, and when Facilier brings up her father, Tiana finally understands what he tried to teach her as a child, that love is the most important thing.
He had love. He never lost sight of what was really important.
Once Facilier turns her back into a frog, Tiana uses the mucus of her tongue to grab the talisman and destroy it. In doing so, it prompts the shadow demons to destroy Facilier. Anna's previous opponents. Anna also faces a fair few enemies in Frozen. She shows her bravery by standing up to Marshmallow and fighting off the wolves, but it's Prince Hans who is her #1 nemesis. Sure, he might have tricked her for the majority of the movie, but when it counts, she defeats him in the most powerful way. Rather than kiss Kristoff and save herself, she chooses to save her sister by throwing herself between Elsa and Hans's sword. Her icy body is so powerful that it wrecks the prince's weapon, and by exhibiting true love, Anna's actually able to mend her frozen heart all by herself. As for Hans in the end, Anna also socks a very powerful punch right in his face. She's so strong, it sends him flying into the water. Now we've analyzed the princess's strengths, weaknesses, squads, and opponents. It's time to make your predictions about who would be victorious, as we're about to announce the winner. Tiana versus Anna. So now it's time to find out which Disney princess would beat the other. We know you'll want to defend your favorite girl, and it sure is a close call, but all in all, we think Tiana would come out on top. That's because she's got the experience, the physical skills, the stamina, and the tactical thinking to outwit her opponent. Anna is a worthy second, however. She is brave too, and is willing to sacrifice herself for love, so she wasn't that far behind. So there you have it, guys. Tiana is the winner. Before you go, let us know in the comments if you agree with us, and weigh in with your own theories about which of all the Disney princesses would be the most intimidating in a battle. And that's it. Please give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to The Things. Thanks for watching.